All right, good evening, everybody. It is December 21st, 7:30. This is the Mayor and Council meeting for the Borough of Allendale. Linda, will you please call the meeting to order and read the Open Public Meetings Act announcement?
In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, the notice requirements have been satisfied. The meeting dates for the year are confirmed at the annual meeting, are posted on the public bulletin board in the municipal building and on the borough website, published in the record within the first 10 days of the new year, and copies are sent to the Ridgewood News and Star Ledger. Notice of this meeting by the December 8th, 2023 Sunshine Notice was sent to the record, the Ridgewood News and Star Ledger, and has been posted on the public bulletin board in the municipal building and borough website.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Homan,
On her way.
Councilwoman Lovasolo,
Here.
Councilman O'Connell,
Here.
Councilman O'Toole,
Here.
Councilman Yakarino,
Here.
Councilman Delavatio,
Here.
Mayor Wilsinski.
Here. Everybody, please rise and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All righty. I am going to do a quick agenda review. It's actually a very light agenda. I'm going to read the consent agenda. The consent agenda are matters that are considered routine and they're enacted in one motion. However, I do like to point out some worthy resolutions to highlight all the work that we've been doing. So we have a couple of tax settlements this evening. We also have our budget transfers, which we do usually at the end of the year. We have two awards, one for our snow plowing, and we have another award for a bid that we went out to for the firehouse bathroom project. We have our list of bills. Ms. Lovasolo, Councilwoman Lovasolo, did you review that?
I sure did.
Thank you very much. So did I. And most importantly, we have two contracts that we'll be voting on this evening. One is for our new DPW supervisor, Andy Agugliero. I will get it in the next week, I promise. And then also our new borough administrator, Allison Altano, who is also our CFO.
We say it so fancy. I know. I know.
So I would like to open the meeting for any public comments on the agenda, please. Not seeing anybody? I'll bring it back. We are going to then go into our council report. Oh, you want to, we also make some of that, okay. So, actually, we're going to vote on the consent agenda. I was waiting for Councilwoman Homan, but she's not here yet. So, do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Roll call?
Councilwoman Homan, Councilwoman Lovasolo,
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell,
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole,
Yes.
Councilman Yakarino,
Yes.
Councilman Delavatio.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, moving on to council reports. We'd like to start with Councilman Ed O'Connell.
Thank you, Mayor. With the DPW was requested to assist with the storm issues around 4 a.m. The DPW assisted with road closures between West Crescent Avenue, between Myrtle Ave and Hillside Ave, on West Orchard Street between DiMercurio Drive and Allen Street due to flooding. Barricades and cones were also deployed on Crescent Bend by Berkshire Place due to downed wires. And throughout the day, the DPW crew cleared storm drains and picked up large branches that were obstructing roadways. And the recycling center will be open this Saturday from 9 to 2 and will accept storm-related debris from Allendale residents. We saw Ron's budget and he is well under. So DPW is in good shape moving forward with Andy. I'd just like to say it's been a pleasure, Ron, working with you for the years. I don't think we've always seen eye to eye, but we've always shook hands and had a cigar outside afterwards. But I wish you the best of luck. Thank you again, Ron, for all your work.
Excellent. Thank you. Councilman Delavatio.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So the Land Use Committee, we had a meeting last week on the 14th. We had a pretty decent sized agenda, a lot of resident issues that the committee discussed. Several of the issues our borough engineer, Mike Breland, is looking into a little deeper. Our code official, Mr. Hackett, also dealing with a couple of questions he had with some residents in regards to some variances and some issues that the committee decided should come before the land use board. So he's going to notify those residents of that. And pretty much most of the issues were settled and taken care of and are being looked into further. As we've been doing for the last 12 months, we're continuing to look into the language of the code to update certain sections to make it more modern and more helpful to the residents. So we're going to continue. And I just, to echo what Mr. O'Connell had said, you know, Ron, it's been a pleasure. I've only got a chance to work with you for a year, but your help and knowledge and experience has been invaluable with the Land Use Committee, and I appreciate everything you do and have done. And I wish you all the best, and I know you're going to be a great mayor. So thank you and good luck. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Councilwoman Lovasolo.
So I kind of did the big report out on the last one. Once again, welcome Andy and Allison. You've been invaluable. So we've had a great year. As this year ends, I just want to say that's been a pleasure working with everyone up here on this dais and in this room. We had a new mayor this year that hit the ground running and challenged us all to think outside of the box and even tried to get some of us to actually use box.
You worked on that.
Yeah, so Amy, thank you for your leadership, your friendship, and for the hours and hours of time that you devote to our borough. Councilman Delavatio, it was great being your second on land use. We had a full agenda at every committee meeting, and you lead us through all of it with your expertise and your follow through. And I just want to sincerely thank you.
Thank you.
And I just want to thank my committee, Finance, Admin, PR, Councilwoman Liz Homan, Mayor Wolozinski, our CFO, Allison, and our additional insight this year from Linda and John Gill, and of course, our retiring Borough Administrator, Ron Kistner. Ron, I have a few words for you later. So I just want to once again thank everyone up here. Happy New Year to everyone and all, and let's go Allendale.
All right. Thank you. Councilwoman Homan.
Hello, sorry for my late arrival. Some things on the agenda. So as far as water and sewer, in town, you continue to see digs being done for the lead and copper rule. It's Veolia trying to identify individuals, what their line into their home is made of. So I encourage people to continue to just allow that to happen and certainly read carefully the documentation that is left at the home, because even though they may dig at the curb box and identify that side is copper, that there is the possibility inside of the home that there may be something else. So I do encourage residents to actually go downstairs in their basement, which is generally where the water service line comes in, and actually see what that might be made of. If they don't know how to do that, it is perfectly acceptable to call Veolia and ask to have somebody come in and take a look at that. So that's continuing with the water. Also, again, to Ray's team, thank you for continuing to move forward all of our little projects in order to actually complete the transaction with Veolia, and hopefully that will happen. And the first quarter of 2024?
Did you see the latest email?
Maybe second quarter of 2024. Anyway, and then as far as the sewer goes, we are continuing to work with Saddle River on the agreement, and I am hopeful that that will wrap up within the first month or two of 2024. So that's my report.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Councilman O'Toole.
Indeed. Quick report this evening. This past Sunday into Monday, the borough was impacted by over 4 inches of rain which caused some significant flooding around town. Thankfully, the police department and public works ensured the safety of motorists while working in conjunction with the schools to assist, and make sure the school got off, maybe a little delayed, but everybody got there. Emergency management is working on updating our emergency operations plan, which is due for renewal in the first quarter of 2024. All NFPA testing of fire department apparatus and equipment is completed for 2023. And finally, the project to make the firehouse bathroom ADA compliant is moving forward with the contract. We just awarded that consent agenda. So
Excellent.
that's all
Thank you
I've
very
got.
much. Okay, staff reports. Our clerk. Oh, sorry, Tyler.
Gee,
I
Amy,
identified.
was it something I said?
Councilwoman Macarino.
Thank you, Mayor. I will keep my report brief this evening. I just want to say that we are moving on with phase one of the concession stand that was awarded at the last meeting. So lots of fast moving progress to be coming on that in the near future. So we're excited to get that done. And also with the storms that happened this week, thanks as my other colleagues have noted, luckily no major damage to Crestwood or any of our facilities, which we're thankful for that. And I just wanted to also say on a personal note, wrapping up my first year here on the council, working with such a supportive group of people, Mayor, under your leadership has been a rewarding experience, a learning curve, and I look forward to going into 2024 with what I learned this year and applying it to next year. So more to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler. Okay, into our staff reports. Clerk, Linda,
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to thank Allison for making the amazing changes in the clerk's office, cleaning that up. It was much needed. I have nothing else to report except I just want to say to Ron, it was a pleasure working with you. Thank you for everything you've done for me and for the borough, and best of luck.
CFO/BA.
Yes,
Allison O'Connor.
just a couple of things. For the finance department, I just want to acknowledge that our tax collector, Gina Whitmack, was able to successfully collect all prior year taxes this year, which would make this the 5th year in a row that the borough has not had a tax sale. With the end of the year coming to a close, the finance department is really just closing all financial matters and beginning the 2024 budget process. For administration, like Linda said, we've been making a lot of changes, positive ones, just updating a lot of our offices. We recently had the opportunity to get file cabinets from a firm that was relocating. So with the help of everybody within the borough, we were able to get it in such short notice and really update the offices. Other than that, I'm really just trying to get to know everybody, get acquainted with things, and fill my new role. I do feel it's been a smooth transition. Ron will truly be missed, and I just hope to continue to put in the same efforts that he's always put forward. Thank you.
Thank you. John Gill, our Director of Communications.
Working a lot of the end of the year stuff, closing out, throwing stuff on the website and loading all 2024 things on there and getting some updates. I know the green team has a lot of updates and stuff, which I will do in the next couple of weeks. So just a lot of the end of the year stuff. Your garbage and recycling guide should be coming in your mailboxes right after Christmas, so you're rolling right in, but everything is updated on the website as of today. So you can look and plot your garbage and recycling going forward. As a side note, congratulations, Ron, on your retirement. It's been a great 3.5 years that I've been here working with you. I thank you for everything. That's my report.
And Mr. Kistner, do you have a report for us this evening?
To my, I'm good, thank you.
Our Chief of Police, Mike Dillon.
Well, thank you, Madam Mayor. No report other than happy holidays and New Year to the Mayor and Council. Thank you for your continued support of the police department. I look forward to 2024, including the swearing in of 2 new officers at the next meeting.
Excellent. And our soon-to-be official DPW supervisor, do you have a report, Andy?
I
A
just want to
googly
say,
arrow, I'm going to say it's
it's been a
slow.
wonderful first 4 days.
Oh, good.
Got my feet wet literally with the on my first day.
Yeah.
Literally. And thank you for hiring me, first of all, and look forward to working with you all. And Ron, it's been a pleasure for the past 4 days.
All right, I'm going to give a brief mayor's report. 210 has begun. After the new year, everybody is going to start seeing some progress, and I have a feeling it's going to go very, very quickly. Councilwoman Lovasolo and I actually picked out new colors for the window. We had a vendor switch for the window, and we had a better variety, and we actually are very pleased with it. I actually have it in my briefcase. I'll show everybody after the meeting. I actually had another marriage this week. Congrats to Andrew and Adriana DiPietro. It was lovely at Borough Hall. And we are working hard to get the reorg underway. Thank you, Linda, for all your work with that. And also something that we're going to be hearing a lot of lately, there's going to be, we're embarking on a mural project. So our downtown mural is a very important piece of our history and is an important piece of our downtown. So I've kind of been working behind the scenes until we were ready to exploit it, if you will. So it's a beautiful collaboration of art, community, and history. And we're going to be now forming committees, setting up an LLC, and making it official. And we're going to have to start fundraising. And it's going to be a really beautiful project. I think the high schools are all, the high school and both grammar schools are both on board. So all the art teachers already met and they're super excited. So that's the community piece and the education piece to it. So I think it's going to be something great that we can all, really get behind. So I put something in the newsletter, reaching out for volunteers. So our first volunteer I need is a super duper fundraiser because we need some startup money. So it's not going to be inexpensive, but it's going to be completely different, like, something you've kind of not seen before. The guy who's leading it is an Allendale resident. His name is Simon Rigg, and he's actually a sculptor. He's also president of the New York Sculptors Guild, so he is the real deal. And it's going to be our historic pieces, like the Fell House and Crestwood, whatever we want to put on there, but it's going to be actually clay. So it's going to be clay and it's going to be three-dimensional. So it's going to be really super cool. So if anybody has any questions, just ask me and you'll be hearing more about it. There's going to be PowerPoint presentations, etc. There's two letters I want to just read to everybody. One is from the Morgan family, and it's to Mayor Wasinski, Councilwoman Homan, Lovasolo, O'Connell, O'Toole, Yacarino, and Delawizio. We would like to thank every one of you. Kindness and sympathy during this difficult time. The flowers and plant were so beautiful. Thank you again. We truly appreciate you and your thoughtfulness. We all love this community so much. And it shows how wonderful it truly is during a difficult time with all the love and support. Love, Linda, LJ, Lauren, and Lucas. As you know, Larry Morgan was a firefighter for, I think, like 35 or somewhat years. So we send our condolences again to the family. And I have another letter from Vice Principal and Athletic Director Koth. And he was basically, in paraphrasing, thanking the borough for the willingness to help with field space during the fall when they were doing their renovation. And it was one of their most successful seasons that they've had in a long time. And much of that, he said, was due to part of the assistance from the borough. He said at a time of reflection, he's just very grateful to have a positive and relationship with the town, and he really appreciates the support and leadership from everybody at the borough. So I thought that's very nice. He looks forward to working with us going forward, and I just think it's super, since most of us or a lot of us on the dais here actually went to high school there as well, and of course all of our kids did. So it's really nice to have
It's a great place.
relationship with the high school, and we have a new teacher there too that's sitting up on the dais, so it's all good. All right, so I'd like to actually open up the meeting to anybody that'd like to speak on anything. Anybody in the back there? You want to come up? Are you sure? No? Okay. All right. So next, I'd like to move, is there any unfinished business?
So, Mayor, I just have one thing that I forgot to mention. Sure. So I know a couple of months ago, I mentioned that the holiday observers had taken the time to do some renovations of the grandstand, as we use the grandstand for, our storage area, and it's, kind of our place. So, I want to thank Vico Sanchez, who kind of spearheaded it, and a lot of the volunteers and the holiday observers. We rebuilt all the stairs, all the seats,
That
and
looks
both
spectacular.
sets of stairs and walks leading up because they were dangerous. So that's the only thing left is we're gonna paint it back to the same colors, but it's structurally sound. And we did
Excellent.
change one of the structural beams inside to make it safer.
All right, we'll have to make sure we send a thank you.
Yeah.
That letter out. Thanks for reporting on that. Okay, so we're gonna move into, new business. I'd like to just have talk about a little bit of a reflection of the year. This is my, first year as mayor, even though I've been on the council for, many years. It's definitely different being mayor. I just want to thank everybody on the team and at Borough Hall for all of their support during this first year. It's really been an honor to be a mayor to this town, and I really do enjoy it. There's been a lot of changes, and I know with change comes discomfort and uncertainty, but everybody's really stepped up, and I really, truly appreciate it for that. Everybody plays an important part in the borough to make the borough run smoothly. For the council, I completely rely on you all. I lean into you, and I value your advice. While we all have committees and there is a process, you know that I cross-pollinate when necessary, and I call you up, and you guys are always there. I know sometimes I call at 5 or 6 in the morning, and I promise I will try to do better with that. But you're all
like it.
except you.
I'm up.
You're all gracious, you're all hardworking, and you're all very cognizant that we have a job to do and what our purpose is. And our purpose is to serve the residents of Allendale and make it a better place to live. So I appreciate all your input and your feedback and your challenges. I don't always have all the answers, and I don't want always to be yes to death. So we work together as a team, and when we are working as a team, that's when we're working our best. So I thank you so much. Our leadership team, our CFO/Borough Administrator, Allison Altano, I really appreciate your thoughtfulness and your willingness to figure things out and make things work. As CFO, you've already made great changes, like accepting credit cards for the first time, which we were trying to do for so long. I feel very, very confident that our finances are in good hands with you. And as Borough Administrator, you stepped into the role seamlessly. You care about people, all the people, and all the departments in this borough. And you're eager to get to know them better, and you do that because you want to support them better in their role. I'm very pleased how you took over creating the new space to make it a better place for the employees. And I also feel that we're very aligned in streamlining processes and making things better for the employees as well as residents. To our municipal clerk, Linda Servino, you jumped in full speed with your role. There was a lot of new stuff to learn and a lot of new staff in the borough when you came on board. Things were done much differently in the prior place than they were done here. You had to learn almost a whole new role and adjust and figure out new ways of doing things. You always accepted a challenge, and you never complained about it, no matter what was handed to you. Your gift is that your willingness to grow and learn new things. It says a lot when you're eager to learn more about other workings in the borough, like GovPilot, for example, which is not necessarily your role, so you can be integrated more with the department. Your good nature and kindness and always willingness to help out everybody is so much appreciated. And of course, there's an excellent support staff behind all this. Gina Whitmack, our lovely tax collector, and Carol Savoy, our payroll extraordinaire, among other things. Kim Olivieri and Amanda Richards, who do a super job in the clerk's admin department, and of course, John Gill. And speaking of John, you are a delight, our Director of Communications. You are so reliable, and you get everything done, and you're also very talented. No matter what I ask you to do and what ridiculous timeline I give you, like, can you get me this in 24 hours, in many cases, you somehow always make it happen, and you're always so damn happy. You work well with everybody, and you really never complain about a thing. And we really all need to learn from that somehow. You're a really important part of this team, and I look forward to working with you in the future. And our building department, who isn't here, we also have a super guy heading up our building department. His name is Anthony Hackett. He works great with our residents. He's super knowledgeable about our code, and he really gets Allendale. He's excellent at his job. He has high integrity, and he always wants to do the right thing by Allendale. He's also super funny, like when he called an escrow account an escarole account. And I was actually afraid to laugh because I wasn't sure if he was doing it on purpose or not. But he was. Also, he works great with our borough engineer, Mike Reeland, who is also just a super employee who's been with the borough for so long. Super at his job, works well with all the staff and residents, and they are such a great team together. The support staff, Mike Limatola in property maintenance, and Linda Garofalo, who also works as our land use board administrator, are also valued employees of the municipality. And Andy Agugliero, we are
I like how she
super.
practiced.
I have that. The problem is I practiced the wrong way for so long. I can't unlearn it. I added an extra vowel there.
I'm just gonna call you Andy A.
Andy A.
They do that for all us.
It's a problem, I know. We don't mean it disrespectfully.
So we are so happy to have you on our team. I think the term baptism by fire was your first day. Ron was out sick.
Yeah, right.
And it was one of the worst weather events that we actually ever had in years, with insane flooding and road closure. You did not miss a beat. You hit the ground running. Your willingness to go for it and embrace Allendale from the start is so appreciated. We interviewed about a dozen people for this job. And as you left, we knew that you were a good fit for our Allendale family. And that was super important for us. And it looks like we were right. So welcome. Chief Mike Dillon. What a couple of years you have had. I so appreciate your leadership during all the changes and challenges. A true character of somebody is how they navigate in times of stress, and you have made it through. I appreciate you as a sounding board and your openness to new ideas. There have already been so many positive changes, like our first coffee with the cop and the mayor and council, which shows that we're all one team and we're all working together to make Allendale a better place, and in your case, a safer place, and we haven't had that ever in the past. You have a new and very young team. So I look forward to watching them grow and get integrated into the community and your leadership with them going forward. Our borough attorney, Ray With. It's so important to me to know that our legal department is competent and reliable. You are always gracious with all the questions that we have, even when we push back and we say stuff like, this is not fair and it makes no sense.
Which doesn't happen that often, right?
You cover you cover so many municipalities, and I know we're a lot smaller than most, but you manage to make us feel like we are the only ones in your universe. Though I have to say, we have had a lot to challenge with you lately. You're also very generous with what we call our Ray time, and we value you and your expertise. I always feel that you have my back and the backs of all of us on the council. You're very hilarious and witty, and you definitely live life to the fullest. And I don't know how many other lawyers that are asked weekly, hey, Ray, what concert are you going to this week or tonight? So thank you, and hopefully a little bit quieter for next year. And finally, Ron. I was on the hiring team for Ron almost about a decade ago with Mayor Emeritus Liz White. We informally met him at Bergen County headquarters, and we were there with the Open Space Committee when, and in addition, actually, you were the head of parks there. We were there begging for money for the Fowl House, if you remember. And we were kind of saying, oh, there's that guy, Ron, he's coming in for an interview. What should we do? And then when we had you in for the interview, we knew that you were the guy. And we called up a few references just to, do our due diligence. And every single one of them said, I don't know how the guy does it, but the guy just never sleeps. So I don't know if you remember this, but you were actually having second thoughts, not that you necessarily didn't want the job, but you were really concerned about leaving the people behind there. So I just remember Liz and I just going back and forth with a million conversations, just trying to figure out how to like lure you in. And I remember our final conversation was actually like sleeping in bed, and it was like dark, and we're like, just give him $10,000 more, just get him. So it turned out true. You were definitely, perfect for the job at the time. I was head of facilities, parks, and rec, and I remember thinking how super lucky I was to have a parks guy and a sports guy here working for us. You worked your butt off for Allendale, and you haven't stopped. You worked tirelessly for this town, day in, day out, Saturdays, Sundays. You're always working. You're finally named, Ron, I got a guy, and you do have a guy, and you have many guys. You've used all your contacts, and your expertise and your pull to get the best work and the best deals for Allendale, and for that, we are so appreciative. You give your everything in all you do, but also outside of work. You came in opening days at Crestwood in the beginning to flip burgers, to playing Santa at the holiday work, and so much more in between. You didn't have to do that, and most people would not have done that, but you have. In Hohokus, you coached football for what? How many years? And you're also the Hasbrook Heights champs, of course. But most of all, underneath the Jersey City toughness, you have a kind heart. The way you cared for Julia all these years, and your friend Bob, including his family when he went through his battle with cancer, and all the miles and miles you walked to raise money for cancer. These are the traits, Ron, that are most important. So you always said Allendale is your second home, and tonight we want to present you with a key to the town so that you know you're always welcome here in Allendale, and you will be missed in Allendale, and you can come back whenever you will, and if you don't, we will hunt you down and find you and bring you back. So with that, we'd like to present you with plaque presented to Ronald F. Kistner, Administrative Officer, Director of Operations, in recognition of his hard work, service, and dedication to the Borough of Allendale, December 21st, 2023. A bottle of water. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you, everybody.
We have more words. We have more words.
Do you want all take pictures after? Yeah, we'll do pictures after. Okay, if anybody on the dais would like to continue speaking. Oh,
Ron, the last thing I can say to you, I'm kind of at a loss for words, which is unlike me, but, and your words, you're leaving Allendale better than when you came here. Pat yourself on the back, have fun with the grandchildren, and everything else, and I truly wish you the best.
All right, I'll go. So Hasbrook Heights certainly has been very lucky to have you all your years on council, and now for them to have the opportunity to have you take over as mayor is amazing. And certainly we have been so fortunate as both a team of people having you as a part of our team, but Allendale as the place where, you know, I've lived and all of us have had our families. Thank you so much for the energy and the care that you have put forth during your time here. We came on together at the same time, and it really has been super helpful to me from, you know, thinking about the water and how you'd already had it figured out before I did that we were going to sell that water. And I'm like, hold on. But, you know, it's one of those things where it sparks somebody with an idea that, you know, the way that we did it as a team, backing up and saying, okay, well, maybe it is something we can consider. So, you know I was definitely challenging to work with, and I appreciate the patience that you put forward in order to have our whole team and our town commit to that. And I think we're in a much better place from that specific agenda item. So I thank you so much. And I do love the fact that your energy to love people and, you know, really put the caring part first is so important. So certainly your family is very fortunate, and I hope they get a little bit more time with you, that it's not just all mayor activities. So best wishes to you always. Thank you.
of course, thank you.
Um,
Anybody else?
I do. Wow. You can be the closer. Ron, it has truly been wonderful working with you these past few years, first on land use board, and then when I came onto council, the time that we've spent on committees together, land use committee, water, and finance and admin. You have years and years of experience that you always generously shared with all of us and with the Allendale community. And we are forever grateful, and we will truly miss you. You will perpetually be our Ron, I got a guy Kistner, and you will always, always be part of our Allendale family. Thank you for everything, Ron.
Ron, you know, Ron, I'm still here.
God?
You jump out of your chair.
You know, it's funny, and I said this to a couple folks. I mean, Ron and I, we have been through so much together, and I find it ironic that I'm bidding Ron farewell over a computer with COVID. But anyway,
Yeah.
Ron, you know, my journey through this town, through this borough, through my process here, you've been there every step of the way. There's nothing that I've done in this town where you haven't been there to witness it, be part of it, lend advice, be a helping hand, be a figure there when I needed you to be. You know, when I started here as an intern, I worked for you. I mean, we were together every day. We were in the office all day, you know, during the week. And the amount of things that, you know, were thrown our way, the things that we did together, the things that I worked on, the things I didn't want to work on, but you still asked me very nicely to do. Uh, there was just so much growth that you were there and you were part of. And when I needed you to help be there for me and lend advice, or, you know, when I needed you, Ron, you were always there. I mean, days, nights, weekends, you know, you were just such a figure for me, and not only just for me, but for all of us here, for the town. And you would always say to me is, you know, if as long as you can go to bed at night and put your head on the pillow and know that you did the right thing today, you know that you're doing a good job. And that has always rang true for me, you know, through all these years. And even though you're leaving us now, you know, as others have said, you've left the town, you know, with the aspects that you've worked in a better place. And that's been your mantra. And I know that you'll continue to do that. So Ron, you know, I appreciate all that you've done for me, all that you've done for us, the town. It's really, words cannot express how thankful I am for your time here and our time together. So this is not the end, and you know, I wish you all the best always.
Well, it's not easy to distill the force of nature that is Ron Kistner down into mere words. So I'll just say thank you. And it's been an absolute pleasure to work with you. And I appreciate the help that you were always willing to give and the opinions that you shared, whether they were asked for or not. From the hours that we spent in this room getting Mayor Bernstein's COVID videos put together and to the countless committee meetings that we were part of, it's been challenging. It's been fun most of the time, like 98% of the time. We'll certainly miss you, but I wish you the very best of luck in all your future endeavors. I hope you can still find your way north sometimes. Remember, you have friends here and the doors are always open. Thanks, Ron.
If I could say something real quick.
Of course, yes.
So Ron, today I called Andy, I sent your 501 and your name popped up real quick and then flopped over to Andy's. So I watched that and I started reminiscing about us. And, you know, you have a patented style where the sky could be falling and the stress is, you know, pretty heavy on my shoulders. And you're like, why don't you stop down to the garage? I go to his office, immediately talked off the ledge. So, and I have seen actually, I don't know if anybody else has seen it, but you and Marie come up here quite frequently on the weekends and just drive through the town. And I think that's so cool because it takes, it really, you have stake in this town, you have a dog in a fight and you really want us to succeed. And even when we thought we weren't getting the best from the town through a vendor or some sort of contractor, like I felt like that you really did fight for us. So as a resident, as an employee, a department head, I wish you the best of luck. I thank you for your service to our borough, and Hasbrook Heights is very lucky to have you.
Ron, if I can chime in, and I don't think I'm going to be avoiding morning phone calls from you in any event, but it was something certainly over our years working in Allendale. You know, I always enjoyed it. I get the 8 o'clock call from Ron, and people are talking about your dedication and being so pragmatic. But if I had to sum up my assessment of your work on behalf of the borough, problem solver. You know, Mayor said before, I've had the privilege of working with a lot of towns over the years, and therefore a lot of administrators. Ron, you've never wanted to stand on ceremony. It was always, how do we get the job done? And whether it was, you know, I know somebody who can help us, or let's put our heads together and work it out. You know, there was no problem that was too big. I think, we saw eye to eye on virtually everything in terms of, how do we get that football in the end zone? What's the bottom line? And of course, I did enjoy our conversations early morning about sports and concerts and the like. But as it related to business, I would say more than anything else, your gift is that you don't lose the forest for the trees. You do see that end zone and you want to solve the problem. And when you can solve a problem with humanity and dignity, that's a big man, and that's you.
And I think if I can just add like real quick, so Ron, I know I said, a couple things about the land use committee, and I appreciate, only being a councilman for 11 and a half months, I really get to see your work ethic from this side, but the other things,
I
the other
know.
things I'm
What can you
involved
do?
with the holiday observers, finishing my presidency, and it was pretty stressful with the amount of events that we run, knowing that you were always there and kind of echoing what Ray said, knowing that you were always there, coming to you with like, we got an event coming, don't worry, we got it. I always knew you had it. Didn't have to tell you. You always knew it had to be done, and you did it. And Allendale Housing, watching you cook hamburgers at our barbecues for our residents and doing the things you do, the little things that are extra that you do that I don't think a lot of the residents see, on top of all the countless hours you put in your regular job. It's so appreciative. I mean, for me, I'm thankful that I got a chance to know you as well as I got to know you. And I know we're going to keep in touch, and I know you're going to be fantastic in your new role. I'm going to miss you, but wish you all the best.
Did you work with Andy on burger flipping this week?
Don't forget the weather forecast.
Oh, did we renew that?
I like that. The friendly and sometimes unfriendly weather
Yeah.
forecast.
Sometimes we didn't like what it said, but we really liked getting it.
All right. Anybody else? We're good? All right. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Oh, yes, are you supposed to do the report? Yes, please.
I thought it was new
Nope,
business.
nope, God, sorry.
So.
Take that back.
Yeah, take it back. Real quick, with an eye to the future and the desire to streamline for the sake of efficiency, combined with the sale of the water system and changes to key members of the borough leadership team, it was proposed we take a look at our committees to see if they were what the borough needs moving forward. At the last meeting, Council President Holman, Councilwoman Lovasolo, and I were appointed as what I've been calling the committee. So since the Water and Sewer Committee was until recently predominantly dealing with the water system, we felt that that committee could be dissolved. The sewer portion could be absorbed into the Public Works Committee. We also felt that we needed to expand the Administration, Finance, and Human Resources Committee to include information technologies. So that leaves us with 5 standing committees. Some will remain as they are. Some have some changes, but moving forward, we are proposing Finance, Human Resources, Administration, and Information Technologies, Public Safety Committee, Public Works and Public Utility Committee, Facilities, Parks, and Recreation Committee, and the Land Use and Construction Code Committee.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And just as a procedural matter, your bylaws provide that the mayor has to appoint a committee to assess any bylaw changes, which the mayor did at the last meeting. The committee then has to report to the full council, which is what you've just received. And then rather uniquely, the resolution that effectuates the change has to be read at 2 consecutive meetings. Usually a resolution is acted on at a single meeting,
Exactly.
unlike an ordinance. So I think the anticipation is that the recommendation that you just heard will be put in resolution form for the reorg meeting. That will be the first passage, assuming it passes at that time. The second reading would be your second meeting in January, at which time the new structure would go into effect.
Perfect. Great. Anybody have any questions?
No, a comment that it's smart.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
definitely the way to go.
Excellent. All right. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in
Holman.
favor?
Second.
Roll call?
Aye.
Anything else? Do we have to do a roll call? No? We're good? All right.
So now I-
All in favor?
Good night, everybody.
All right.